to bring it in.
You heard what I said? Go.
You'll pay for this. You'll see.
That's all right. And remember, the very name of love is destiny.
Ha!
Oh, I'm so glad you came, sir. He's got all the people around here so afraid they'll hardly come into the inn anymore. We're all in mortal terror of that man, sir.
Despite my warning that it would kill him, he's been drinking, eh?
Oh, yes. Drinking and singing that horrid song. And blowing his nose so loud, sir, it sounds like the report of a cannon. You may laugh, but I've never known a man to put so much fierceness into blowing his nose. And when I ask for money, sir, why that's when he blows his nose the loudest.
I dare swear he owes you for his lodgings.
That he does, sir. I appeal to you as magistrate. He is ruining me, sir, ruining me.
Mrs. Hawkins, Squire Trelawney and I have been watching your lodger for some time.
He's given Jim a silver penny every month to keep his eye open for a seafaring man with one leg.
Has he now?
And that's the worst of it, sir. The influence he has over my boy.
Jim's a good lad, I'll be bound.
That he is, sir. Jim's the best in the world. The captain's been filling his head with stories. You should have heard the stories he told about that ship. Flint's treasure ship? He's got that boy so worked up with his horrid tale of pirates and sea fights and treasure hunting that the lad is fairly rich with the idea of going to sea. And sir, oh sir, it's all I have. I want my money, but I don't want my boy in his company.
I think I can promise you both, Mrs. Hawkins. Squire Trelawney is to meet me here tonight.
Oh sir, I hope there's not going to be any fighting.
Can you keep a secret, Mrs. Hawkins?
That's close to the grave.
You can, eh? Come here to the window. No, it's so foggy you can't see. But there's a little lugger down at Kit's Cove. I suspect that's the boat our friend has been waiting for.
What is it?
Smuggler.
Oh dear!
That's what your friend is, and that's why he's been waiting for one special seaman, and that's Mrs. Hawkins. So the squire and I have been waiting for. I've got men all over the countryside. If we can keep an eye on the captain, we'll get the whole crew of them. Oh, I say, you say Jim is close to the captain.
Hands in low. Always the pity.
Jim, come over here.
That horrid man has had enough for today.
Doctor wants to speak. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Jim, since your father died, your mother has had only you to help her.
I do my best, sir.
Oh, you do quite well, boy. Jim, your mother tells me the captain hasn't paid for his board and lodging.
He hasn't, not since the first day, sir. He was at that door, willing for a glass of rum. This is a handy little cove, says he. Much company.
And we asked that, did he?
Yes, and when he heard as how there was very little, he said, this is the bird for me. So when he comes with the sea chest and lays down 3 pieces of gold, you can tell me when I work through that, says he.
And he has worked through it, hasn't he?
Oh yes, sir, and much beside.
Jim, if your mother is to get towards Owinger, you must watch his every move tonight. I shall be up in the village. The least thing that looks suspicious, any strangers that call him, any attempt of the captain to leave, you send me word by your mother. No matter what happens, don't you leave him for one moment.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Jim, there's a nasty fog out there tonight. A fog that hides things on the sea. Fog like that is bad for ships on good business. But it's good for ships on bad business. These men are here on bad business. Hawkins, I'm a magistrate.
Yes, sir.
Hawkins, I appoint you an officer of the crown.
Dr. Livesey!
Officer of the crown, Hawkins.
Aye, aye, sir.
You're the only one who can watch without suspicion. You're not afraid, are you, Hawkins?
Oh, no, sir. I'm not afraid.
Then we'll have this whole mystery unraveled before midnight. Keep your eyes open and remember, officer of the crown.
Jim,
Yes?
is he gone?
Who?
That swab of a doctor.
Yes.
Then fetch me some rum, Jim.
What, Captain?
Rum, a whole tankard of it. Fetch it to my room.
But, Captain, the doctor said...
The doctor be blown-eyed. Nay, come here, Jim. I'm not meaning to be hard, but you've been my friend. You're the only one I can trust. And if ever I be friends, Jim. It's today. There are things brewing today. I can feel it in the yard.
It's just the fog, Captain.
Aye, the fog. It's full of faces, Jim, the fog. Every step of the way from the cove I've seen them. Faces like that of Flint's crew up there. They've been all around me there. See there at the window, look.
Why, there's no one there, sir.
You didn't see a face with an ugly look on it.
There's not a person on the road.
Faces everywhere in the fog. You kept your eye open for a seafaring man with one leg.
Yes, sir. There was no pay. I had several weeks.
What?
I said I'd had no pay, and... Never mind, Captain. It isn't your fault.
No pay, eh? Well, here's your pay, lad. Take it. I'll be needing friends today. There's a little lugger down at Kit's home. Keep your eye open and watch the road. And if anyone asks for me, you don't know me, you never heard of me, understand?
Not even the seafaring man with one leg.
No, none of them. Bring me the rum upstairs now, and keep your eye open, Jim. See there, look in the window.
I tell you, there's no one, nothing.
Nothing, eh? There's a whole crew of them out there in the fog. A whole crew. And it's gonna be a fight. But we'll beat them yet, Jim. You'll see. We'll beat them yet.
Oh, I didn't hear you come in.
Toy little place. Very tough. Come here, son. Come nearer here. And what have you here?
Run, sir.
Rum it is. Good, strong rum.
It's for the gentleman upstairs, sir.
For the gentleman upstairs. Good, strong rum for the gentleman upstairs. You know what I mean?
No, sir.
It's just the sort of stuff that would suit me old mate Bill. Now, what do you think?
Well, I don't know your mate Bill, sir. So...
Don't you? Well, that's too bad. What might you call your gentleman upstairs?
Captain.
Well, your mate Bill might be called Captain.
I doubt it's the same person, sir.
We'll put it for argument your captain has a cut on one cheek, and that be the right one. Well, I told you. Now it's me mate Bill here.
Oh, go upstairs and tell the captain.
No, you won't. Stop, I say. There, I mean you no harm. Why, I have a boy of mine as like to you as two blocks, and he's all but pride in my arm. But the great thing for boys is discipline. But you see, I planned this as somewhat of a great surprise to do, and I couldn't have just spoiled it.
Oh, sir, I hope there isn't going to be any fighting.
Shh! Bill and me's old mates, we are. They'll be glad to see Bill, though.
What are you doing, sir?
Just giving Bill a little surprise. A little surprise.
Jim? Where's he gone? Jim, I say, Jim!
Another word, or I'll wring your neck.
Jim, where are you?
Hello, Bill.
You!
Come, Bill. You know your old shipmate.
Black dog. What do you want?
Just come to see me old shipmate and talk over old times.
Old times, eh?
Aye, a sight of times we've seen since I lost them in talent.
Look here, you've run me down. Here I am. Well, speak up. What is it?
That's me, Bill. Always to the point. I'll just have a glass of rum.
Here, sir.
That's for the gentleman upstairs. I'll have my own. And don't hurry back. And leave that door open. None of your keyholes for me, sonny.
Go on, out with it.
Now, Bill, we'll talk square. Like old shipmates.
Old shipmates, eh?
Aye, we're all here. Hans, Morgan, Hugh, O'Brien.
Silver?
Aye, he's captain down there on a little lugger.
And a nice lugger it must be.
We all sailed with Flint, and what we got like gentlemen of fortune belonged to
Flint!
Aye. I'm Flint to Flint's crew. And that's what we've come for. What we're going to get.
Go on out with the dog.
There's money about you, Bill. Money as them things we've come for, and them things we're going to have.
And that's the message they sent by you.
Aye.
Well, you can tell them that I'm still captain. And what I say is I confess the swabs. Thinking you can give your orders to me.
It's more than that we'll be giving you. The little black spot.
Oh, you will? Tip me the black spot, will you? I'd like to see the one of you that dares. Send him along. Or maybe you could. Have you, hand it over. Hand it over.
I haven't, but it'll be here sure enough. And you'll surrender things that don't belong to you. Or you'll swing.
I'll swing, then we'll all swing. And you can tell that Silver refused to hand to O'Brien. To all of them, Bill Bones is still a good man.
And that's the message I'm to take back.
Aye, that's the end to it. Tell him that too. Tell him whether Bill Bones has lost his arm. Tell that to the one that's to bring the black spot. Jim!
What is it, Captain?
Rum, quick!
The doctor warned you.
Look here, Jim. How my fingers fidget. I can't keep them still that high. If I don't have a drain of rum, I'll have the horrors. And I've seen some of them already. I've seen old Flint in the corner behind you there. Playing his print, I've seen him. And if I have the horrors, I'm the man that's the drop. And all Ray's came. Even the doctor said one glass of rum won't hurt. And I barely had a drop today. I'll give you a golden guinea for a noggin, Jim.
You shouldn't touch the stuff, sir. There. Oh, sir, I fear it's another stroke. I'd better go get someone.
Don't you leave me! Don't leave me, Jim. Not now. I need you. You're the only one worth anything. And with your help, I'll beat him yet. I will, Jim, I will.
You shouldn't touch that stuff, sir. The doctor said it was sure death.
What does he know about it? Doctors is all swabs. And that doctor there, why, what does he know about seafaring men? I've been to places hot as pitch, with the mates dropping round with Yellow Jack, and the blessed land heaving like the sea with earthquakes. What does he know about lands like that? And I lived on rum, I tell you, and it's been meat and drink and man and wife to me. And if I don't get a drain of rum, I'm a battered old hog on a lee shore. And my blood will be on your head, Jim, and on that doctor's swab. You'll give me another nod, won't you?
You're killing yourself.
Look here, Jim. That man just here, he's the bad end. But there's worse to put him on. And they're all out there on that ship in the fog, waiting and trying to get me. To tempt me the black spot.
The what?
The black spot. It's about the worst disgrace that can come to a pirate captain. And it means that he has to step down, that he's gone done for, that he's got to do what his men say, instead of them doing what he says. And sometimes it means worse. And that's what I'm hearing from that crowd out there. Look at the door.
No one, sir.
Close the door, Jim. Come here. It's up there in my old sea chest, what they're after. And I'm going to try to get away first. And if I do, I promise you, I'll come back for you someday. And we'll go to sea. Just as I told you, in a schooner with pipe and boat swaying, and pigtails singing searing to sea, Jim, bound for an unknown island to seek buried treasure. You like that?
Oh, yes.
Well, I promise you. But if I don't get away, they tip me the black spot first. You get word to that doctor magistrate and tell him to pipe all hands. And he'll lay them aboard here at the Ben Gunn. All of Flint's crew. All of them that's left.
Not Flint the Buccaneer.
I'm Flint's crew. I was first mate on that ship out there. Oh, Flint's first mate. And I'm the only one that knows the place.
What place?
The place where Flint hid all his money. The chart's up there in my chest. He gave it to me in Savannah as he lay dying. But you won't peach that, lest they get the black spot on me, will you?
No, Captain.
Or lest they see a seafaring man with one leg, him above all others. Keep your weathery eye open, lad. And if I get away, I'll pay you well. And if I don't, you go up into that chest and get out the money I owed your mother. And there's a little package, wrapped in oilcloth. Get that to the doctor. He'll know what to do.
Sir, let me help you.
No. Bill Bones can stand alone. Yet, and with your help, I'll beat him yet. You'll see, I'll beat him yet.
Mother, come quick. What is it? Those men down there at the cove.
Yes.
They're pirates. What? Flint's crew.
as this should be.
Thousands upon thousands went buried, and hundreds have tried to find it. If this should prove the clue to Flint's treasure,
Tall trees, Spyglass Mountain buried in points in the north of north-northeast. Skeleton Islands, east-southeast. The gold is in the North Cache.
by gad lovely, that's it. We'll go to Bristol, we'll find your crew, and we'll have that treasure if it takes the air. And Hawkins shall go with us.
You don't mean it. To go to sea with piping boatswain and pigtailed singing seamen, bound for an unknown island to seek buried treasure.
You there. See that man with one man hopping about on a truck? Yeah. You go up to him quiet enough and say to him, Silver, there's a man up there would like a word. Ah, quiet. A nice turn you did me, leaving me back in the cove.
Aye, and a nice turn you did me, with your bunglings, you puny-litters, letting a fortune slip through your fingers. Look at him and Dan. All those good boys to come within the silver and drink on me grog.
Easy.
Well, it's so, isn't it? Isn't it?
When we all ran from the place, I was in the fog.
Well,
I must have run in a circle, for I ended up again on a star.
that is.
Ah, it was dark, and I crept up to the window.
Yes?
There was Billy Buckles, dead on the floor. And 3 men pawing over him with a charge.
Flint's fist.
Ah, Flint's fist.
There were 3 others to say.
Ah, one was a boy. He had taken the charge and given it to the man.
And the men.
One they called Doctor.
The other.
He was your country.
His name.
Squire.
Squire Trelawney.
The very same.
I guessed it. I guessed it. You see that boat there?
Aye.
She belongs to the squire, and she's sailing under sealed order.
Then you know.
Aye, the squire and I have already passed the time of day. I've been watching him, wondering what all this is about. Did any of them see you down at the cove?
None but the boy.
Good. They haven't shipped their crew yet. I'm going to try and make our friends here take us to Flint Street. Aye, in their own ship. Even find the treasure for us.
Ah,
And then
what then?
we'll pay them for it. Either one of those your squad.
Ah, the old man.
Good. You go inside. You'll find other men there, but not a word.
Squire, they just don't make those game planks like they used to, do they?
Captain Smollett, I'm here to talk to you about a crew. I need them right away.
I will try, sir, but they are not so easy to get.
It shouldn't. England has stood for centuries on her sailors to unknown lands and on unknown seas.
But your requirements are peculiar, sir.
What? Merely men not afraid of anything, land or sea. Surely England has not gone so far that they lost their spirit of adventure.
All very well, sir, but asking your pardon, I do not know the nature of this voyage.
And are not to. Sealed orders.
Quite right, sir, but you must realize this makes it difficult for me to get men, honest men.
It shouldn't. England has her Drakes, her Rileys, and Hawks, and...
Very well, sir. I'll do the best I can.
And make haste, Captain. My friends come within 3 days. We must be ready by then.
I'll try, sir.
You never tire of looking at us, sir.
Pretty, isn't she?
Never saw sweet a little craft.
Not a seafaring man?
I lost this in defense of my country.
Really now?
Aye, under the immortal Hawks.
Not really.
Back, sir.
Well, pension. man.
That's the thing. My head is not too good ashore. That's why I keep my quay here, my inn here on the quay, where I can get a bit of salt air and meet seafaring men. Why, every sailor that comes to port knows no young silver.
Do they now?
Aye, and they're all welcome, whether they can pay or no, because of my love of her out there, the sea. And I tell you, sir, when the sea once gets into you, it's hard to lose us, sir. It may sound queer to you, but it's a fact.
No. I think I understand.
When I think of the times I've seen, the dirty weather, the clear fights at close quarters, hand in hand and cutlass against pirates and buccaneers. And then I think of me and their doling out grog, and sir, it's like torture. And when it comes out here and sees a trim little schooner like that to sail in, why, I'd give me own life for just one more chance at the open sea.
You say you know every seafaring man in Bristol.
Aye, they all come to the spyglass.
Now, just suppose I wanted a special sort of crew. Men not merely sailors, but fighters, perhaps.
I know the very men for you. They're in there now. Men wear sails I have, against Flint himself. Oh, have you meant to be tired, Captain Flint?
You mean to say you sailed against Flint?
Aye, it's to him I owe the loss of this. And you see, sir, that's what makes it so hard. To have been through all that, and then to sit here idly, to see you calling, begging for another chance, sir. A chance that means life, sir.
Now, just suppose that you were given that chance.
You don't mean it, sir.
You could get a crew together
Yes, sir.
at once?
I'll handle everything, sir. But there are honest men in there. Englishmen, ready for any purpose.
I like your talk, sir. You're engaged.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And now about the crew. My captain has found difficulties finding them
Why do
honest.
I ask what sort of voyage this be?
Why?
So that I may judge about the men.
I want tough men. Men as you just spoke of. Men willing to board Flint himself.
I know the very ones you want. They're in there now. I'll send them to you. You just go back to your cabin, and you'll see.
If I could get them before Captain Smollett returns,
I'm sure you can, sir.
I'll show him with his trouble of finding honest men. Send them along, Silver.
Yes, sir. At once, sir. Oh, and thank you, sir.
Not at all. Glad we met, Silver.
It's a bright thing for me, sir. A bright thing. Heaven has sent him to me. Hans! Aaron! Morgan! Mary! How you been? Quiet down, you lovers! It's Flint's treasures after all, right? Easy there! I am to engage his crew. You are to be that crew. Let's go to him now. Aaron, you'll be mate. Aye, Captain. Anderson, you coxswain. Coxswain it is. Barry, boatswain.
Why, old dog?
And the rest of you, if you pleases. Now go to him now. Act natural. Nothing suspicious. Act innocent. But fierce. On with you. Wait. See my quick. Still, we'll take those risks. We'll stay hidden in there till we set sail. Go! We've got them baited, and we'll get them. Hook and all. Now go!
Remember that the Lord, this ship fast will be taken off soon. Start bringing
Come
out
on,
Scarborough.
come on.
Faster now, my grandmother can run faster than horses.
straight here. Have all the men stand by.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. Hand,
Yes, sir.
who gave you the order for the storing of those stores?
Well, I thought you did, sir.
Very well.
Aye, aye, sir.
Well, my man, who are you?
A friend of crew, sir. I have a message.
This ship is ready to sail. No one boards her now.
But it's important. Most important, I see it, sir.
Who?
Silver, sir. Long John's.
Silver! John Silver!
Aye, sir.
Men to see you.
Coming, sir, coming. What is it, sir?
This fellow here says he has a message for you.
Message for me, my good man.
Ah,
Well, speak up, my man, speak up.
there's a man here who would like to talk to you. He says it's most important.
Well, I don't know who it could be, nor what he wants. Can I go ashore, sir?
We're all ready to cast off.
I won't be but a gypsy, sir.
Very well.
Thank you, sir. Are you the powers what is it you're trying to do?
I won't sail.
Well,
It'll never sail without you. If I don't go, I'll blow the whole thing.
you do as you're told, and out now, hands.
That's Captain Smollett.
What's he done?
He's down below snooping around.
You put the powder where I told you.
Aye,
And their men, both of them.
aye.
Did he notice?
I don't know. He had suspicious lies.
You hear that, black dog? You hear? Now you go inside and wait. Go on, by thunder, I'll run you for you.
It'll never sail without me. Never.
Go! The other never came with us time. Cats. Black dog doesn't go with his crews.
Aye, aye, sir.
You go inside and watch it. Don't let him out of your sights. Wait your chance. And when you get it, you know what to do.
Aye, aye, sir.
I don't know what to make of it.
I'm sure he'll come, Squire.
Everything ready and ship shape, just waiting for you, sir.
Hawkins hasn't come.
You told him he might stay to the last moment with his mother, sir.
If we wait, we'll miss the tide. That's another 12 hours delay, sir.
Look at her there, all ready. And to be held up now? By Dad, it's hard, Lively.
Would you mind if I took the old shipmate, Captain Clinton, on with us? He goes on all the sea voyages with me. Oh, and perhaps a gentleman would care to join me in a glass of grog.
Thank you, but if you'll excuse me.
Exactly, sir. I understand, sir.
An honest fellow and capable.
Squire, I don't usually put much faith in your discoveries, but John Silver suits me.
The man's a perfect trump. We've grown quite familiar.
Squire, you have a tale to make me.
Not a word. I've been the most discreet
us name. And I let him give us the slip, right before we married deadlines.
It wasn't your fault, sir.
Nay, that it wasn't. But it might seem so.
I'll explain it to the squire.
You will.
Just as soon as I see them.
No, no, no. You wait till we've said the same. And then when he sees how I works and gets to know me better, then you ups and tells.
Very well, sir.
There's a lad for you, white.
What is it, sir?
Oh, what a precious old sea cat I am. That swab got away without paying his score. 3 goes of rum. Good tippers. If I hadn't forgotten his score. Oh, touch me, please. Don't you forgot me score.
We've been anxious about you.
Where have you been?
It was Mother that kept me, sir. She's quite alone and she's so afraid.
I sent your boy to take your place.
Yes, sir, and very kind of you it was. It's just, he can't take my place, sir.
That's conceit for you, Squire.
No, no, it's just, it's only Mother and I now, and, well, we've never been parted before.
There, Jim. I understand it. Oh,
Begging your pardon, sir, but don't you think it's mighty good if I take him aboard?
I'm all right, sir. I'm all right.
Come now. Silver will show you the beer pass.
And now that the ship's company is complete, we can... Oh, Captain Slot, there you are. Ready to sail? We mustn't miss the tide.
Squire Trelawney, I don't like my crew, and I don't like my crew.
What?
I was engaged to sail the ship on the sealed orders.
Right.
And if that is so, how is it every man before the mast knows more than I do?
Squire.
That is not true.
I learned that we are going after treasure. Now treasure is ticklish work, and I don't like treasure voyages on any account. But when they're secret, and their secret's been blabbed.
Blabbed?
Yes, sir, blabbed. Like life or death, close run.
If you're afraid...
Squire. You say you don't like your crew. Aren't they good seamen?
I dare him to deny that.
6 of the men I chose were discharged.
They were freshwater swabs. Silver showed me that.
And do you think it fair that this Silver, the ship's cook, should have more authority in choosing my own crew?
It was a chance to get men quickly.
A slur on me, sir.
Captain Small, just what are you aiming at? Come.
You gentlemen know the risks you're running.
We do?
And you are determined to go.
We are.
Then I have this to say. Without my giving the order, those men put all the powder and arms into the forward. There's a place underneath our cabin. Why not put them there?
But
Wait. Go on, Captain Smollett.
You have some of your men with you.
you don't doubt them, too.
Berth them beside the cabin.
All right, Captain Smollett. What else?
I learned that you are in possession of a certain chart, and that there are certain crosses on this chart.
I never told that to a soul.
Every man aboard knows it, sir.
Well, then likely it must have been you.
I don't know who has this chart, and I don't want to know. But I insist it be kept secret.
In short, you fear a mutiny.
I deny your right, sir, to put those words in my mouth. But no captain is justified in going to sea if he has grounds to say that.
Well,
Some of these men may be honest, perhaps all are. But I'm responsible for the ship's safety, as well as the life of every man jack aboard her, and I demand that I be allowed to take these necessary precautions, or I resign.
well then you can.
Wait. I agree with Captain Smollett. I think it wise to do as Captain Smollett says.
Very well then, I am overruled. But I want you to know I think the worst of you, Captain Smollett. But do as you wish.
Thank you, sir. As soon as we're underway, I'll give the order for the removal of the arms from the forehold.
I should have sent him packing.
I'd have to disagree with you, Squire. I think you have 2 honest men aboard this ship. John Silver and Captain Smollett.
Well, I wish Captain Smollett would agree with you, because obviously he doesn't think John Silver is very trustworthy.
Quite sorry, Squire.
Pipe all hands! Boatswain ahoy!
Aye, aye, sir. Doesn't it set you all a tingle, hasn't it?
Top This crew is on the verge of mutiny, and what is it, Mr. Hands?
Some of the men did not report to mess, sir. Just looking for them, sir. Haven't seen them about that, sir, have you?
Not a soul, Hands.
Thank you, sir.
You see that?
I tell you, there's something in the air. We'll hear from this crew before the night's over.
I believe you're right.
Then we must take some precautions. Squire or no squire.
Come below. You must make the squire listen to reason.
I do believe you're right, Dr. Livesey. The squire can be foolish at times.
Where are you going?
Down. And if I find that boy,
You are not. You're going below.
stand up, Mom.
You heard Silver's orders.
I obeyed his orders, and I obeyed his talk. So, you signal for me. Well, I'll do you for that.
Let go! Hey! I found these two trying to carve each other up!
Hans, what's your explanation for this? What's it making for the cabin? You heard me orders.
The crew's behind me in this.
Oh, they are they? Well, who's the captain here, I'd like to know? I'll show you. I'll show them a pack of you. Give me that knife. Give it to me. Here, Hans. I place him in your charge. At the first word, at the first sign, you kill him, understand? Aye, aye, sir. Kill him.
I'll pay you for this, Long John. If he touches me, if he lays one little finger on me, I'll tear him to pieces. Now, someone.
John, we want...
Wait.
All players.
Now then, out of it.
We want to know how long we're going to hold off.
By the powers of the last minute I can manage. They have that chance. And until we have it in our hands, we make no move.
And then we see it this very night, here in their hands.
And you think they'll just sit still and let you cut their throats while doing it, eh?
You're 1960.
We've taken them out.
Oh, have you now?
We know our rights, Long John.
Another word from you, George Marriott.
Foxhole Council. Long John, that rules is rules.
Rules, is it? It's rules you want. Well, I'll give you rules. You have all the rules you want, you lovers. What's going on? It's Captain Blackstone! Stop it! Stop it! Down below, John. Here comes the doctor. The squire that one will be ditched. Don't let him say anything.
What was that noise, Silver?
Noise, sir? I didn't notice anything. But if there's anything wrong, I'll soon settle it. You can trust me, sir.
Of course I trust you. It's only those trouble seekers who
You're
do
wrong,
not
sir. I've been in there, sir, and it's mutiny. And talk about falling on us to get our chart, sir.
What's that?
It's Silver. He's the man with one leg. He's part of Prince's crew. They're pirates. All of them. They know what we're after. And they've used us to get their ship and sail it for them to the very treasure place.
That's it. That explains everything. Squire, you trusted Silver,
I did.
and Silver got it from you.
Are you convinced now, squire?
You were right, and I was wrong. I owed myself a fool and await orders.
Did you hear anything of their plans?
They're arguing down there now. The men are all for attack, but Silver's all for holding them back. If he only could.
If he only could. How many men can we count on?
They said there were 19 to 6.
19 to 6. 6, that must be Redruth, Joyce, Hunter, and ourselves.
Then there are some who are doubtful.
We'll count on 6. Ammunition and arms with us. By gad, if Silver can only hold them up. If we can get a little time. This ship needs water. Without it, she can't sail. Now, according to your chart, there's only one place on that island where water can be had. The stockade. Now, if we can make the stockade, by heaven, sir, they'd have to come to us. If we can only hold them up for a time. How now, Joyce?
Begging your pardon, sir, but there's things to go with that crew.
Go on.
First, they tried to make Redruth, Hunter, and me join them. When we refused, they shut themselves in a corner all by themselves.
Well,
I still back and listened. It's all about a chart, sir, and they are coming to demand it.
Good Lord!
Silver's been trying
was a true one, except for the crosses that designate where the treasure is buried.
It was?
Jim, you'll find that chart down in my cabin. Take it, put some crosses on it. Put them anywhere. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Then bring it back up here and slip it into the squire's hands. Hurry!
Yes, sir.
I believe the law has solved it.
Now, in case this comes to an issue, are you gentlemen willing to fight them?
To the last, sir.
Aye, sir.
Very well. Have your pistols primed.
They are, sir.
Mine, sir.
Joyce, as soon as those men come up from below, take out the muskets and load them. Then drag as much powder and shot into the cabin as you can.
Very well, sir.
Stand there and guard. Let no one touch it.
Aye, sir.
If it comes to a fight, we'll fight back to the cabin and the ammunition. We've got a chance, gentlemen. Just a bad chance. And if we don't make it, we'll sell our lives dear. Steady now. Steady. Well, my man, this looks like a deputation.
It is, sir, a deputation.
Well, what is it?
These men, sir, these men have been hearing rumors.
Rumors.
Aye, rumors as to how the ship is under sealed orders. And them sealed orders are treasure.
And who told you that?
Why, you did, sir.
I?
Aye. Now such a thing gets the ears of the men. Makes them sort of greedy.
Do you mean to say that this is mutiny?
You can call it what you want, sir.
But, confound it all, how do I put irons on?
I think you try to know, sir. I counsel peace and fair terms.
Well,
We hear that you have a certain chart with certain crosses. We want that chart.
Silver, I trusted you.
The chart, sir. Do we get it? Do we?
wait. Supposing we do give you this chart, what then?
What then?
Aye, what then? What happens to us?
Why nothing, sir?
You mean you'll not harm us?
Yes.
Your solemn promise.
Stolen promise.
You mean, you here, you give your word as well.
Because Captain said so.
Very well. As much as I think you all a pack of scoundrels, and I hope to see you all hanged,
Now,
I know what I mean. Squire, get the chart.
Right. I'll send a man with you.
No need. Jim?
yes, sir.
Jim, do you know where that chart is?
Yes, sir.
Bring it here.
In a jiffy, sir.
Very well. Get the boats ready, men. Get them ready, quick. I'll stand guard at the watch. Right ahead. I can't trust you, Captain Smollett.
Well, I can't say as I trust you either, Silver.
Where's that lad?
Wait, remember your promise.
Aye.
Let him have it, Jim.
Now then, I'll settle with them.
Back, by heavens, gentlemen. You take one step farther.
Stop, you fools, you blockhead! Well, haven't we got the chart? Aye, and that was Flint's crew. I've seen Flint shiver muck with blood and fit to sink with gold. Gold that's buried there, that belongs to us by rights. We've sailed with Flint. Now, Flint was captain, and you may as well know that I was quartermaster. There are rough locks there. That's all I can do to hold them. You better go down below, quick.
I warn you.
Go.
Now then, men, after them.
Wait! You know us, wait!
Haven't we got the chart? Haven't we?
Aye, and we got it too easy.
Too easy.
It ain't natural. There's something behind it.
A trick made of wrong chap.
Then we'll find out soon enough. Come, lads, come.
It was I who got the chart from Millie Bones. I brought it from the captain's cabin. I ought to know whether it's the right one. You go down there now and you'll lose everything. They're waiting for you. Their muskets and pistols primed. They've got all the guns and ammunition. You go down there now and you lose your ship, your chart, and your lives.
Lawyer.
You say you know this is the right one, eh? Well, we'll let you stake your life for it. I mean, we'll take you along as a hostage.
you was. Now you... What do you call yourself?
Jim.
Jim. Jim. Now, don't you be afraid of Ben Gunn.
Oh, I'm not afraid.
That's right. I wish that rock you'd be ashamed to hear. Just look at these. Rags, tatters, pieces of old ship's canvas and bits of old sea cloth, all held together with brass buttons, bits of stick and bits of tarry gasket. Now, when you look at me, you'd never think I had a pious mother, would you now?
I know, not particularly.
Oh, well, I had remarkable pious. And I was a civil pious boy and could rattle off my catechism that fast so you couldn't tell one from another. That. And here's what came to you. And it began with Chuck Payson in the cemetery on the nest of gravestones. That's what it began with. And it went further than that. And so my mother took me to the hole she did about pious women.
But how did you get here?
The providence that put me here. I thought it all out on this here lonely island and I'm back on piety. You don't catch me chasing around so much, but just a thimble for black. Of course, the first chance I get, I'm bound I'll be good and... I see the way. And Jim, I'm rich.
Rich?
You? Fucking rich, I say! But and I'll tell you what. I'll make a man of you, Jim. You'll bless your stars, you will. You the first of Downey.
What is it?
Now, Jim, you tell me true.
Tell you what?
That ain't Flynn's ship out there, it ain't.
No, and Flint is dead. But I'll tell you true as you ask me. There are some of Flint's hands aboard there. Worse luck for the rest of us.
Not a man with one leg.
Silver.
Guys.
He's cook and ringleader too.
If you were sent by Long John, I'm as good as pork, and I know it.
I'm not sent by Silver.
Now, you tell me true, Jim. You tell me true.
I'm running from him. He and his hands mutinied on us.
On who, eh?
Captain Smollett and Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesey.
You need to say, Jim.
Yes, we were on that ship to look for Flint's treasure.
Eh?
We had Flint's map.
Flint's fist. And where did you get that?
I got it. From Billy Bowes when he died.
Bones get too.
I gave it to the squire. Somehow Silver managed to get rid of it. He managed to deceive the squire by appearing kindly.
Aye, that would be Silver's way. Barring rum, his match was never seen. He were afraid of none, not he. Only Silver. Silver was that genteel.
Well, last night they made a demand for it. The squire was in a hard way, so we gave it to them.
Flint's fist.
No, a false map.
Oh, not the right one.
No, but I think Silver suspected. He made me come with them. All night, I ran through the woods when I jumped off those boats as soon as they grounded. And then I wandered all about until I found you. And now that I've told you, will you help me get back to my friends?
So, hit a boat, and all by himself.
By himself. But the others.
The sun was up, and more to the light he looked about the cutwater. And there he was, you mind, and his six, all dead. Dead and buried. How he done it, not a man aboard us could make out. It was battle, murder, and sudden death. Him against six. He killed them all. You know, I were in another ship 3 years back and we sighted the island. Boys, said I, here's Flint's treasure. Let's land and find it. The captain was displeased at that, but my messmates were all of one mind. 12 days we looked for it, and every day they had a worse word for me. Until one fine morning, all hands went aboard. As for you, Benjamin Gunn, says they, here's a musket, they says, and a spade and pickaxe. You stay here and find Flint's money for yourself, they says.
Marooned you.
Well, Jim, 3 years I've been here and not a bite of Christian diet from that day to this. But now, look here, look at me. Well, do I look like a man before the mast? Do I? No. No, says you. Nor I want neither, says I.
But
Just you mention them words to your squire, nor he word either. That's the word.
But I don't understand.
3 years I will land this island, light and locked, fair and green. And sometimes I would maybe think upon a prayer, says you, and sometimes I would maybe think on my old mother, so be as she's alive, you'll say. The most part of Ben's time, this is what you'll say. The most part of his time was took up with another matter. And give him nip like I do.
What do you mean?
Then you'll up and you'll say this, you'll say, Gunn's a good man, and he puts a precious sight more confidence, a precious sight, mind you, in a gentleman bold and in his gentleman of fortune, haven't been one himself.
I don't understand a word you're saying, but how on earth am I to tell these things to the squire if I can't get back on board again?
There's it for sure.
Can't you help me some way? Can't you?
Aye, lad, you put your trust in Ben Gunn.
And then you'll help me.
Aye. There's my boat. I named it with my 2 hands.
You'll let me take her?
Aye, lad, you may take it.
And you'll come too. You'll help me reach the ship.
Nay, lad, not Ben Gunn. But you can have the coracle.
Then come. Help me launch her. What's that?
Short!
Then they've begun the fight already. What shall I do now?
Wait! That wasn't from the boat.
Where then?
Wait!
What is it?
Look! Look there, what do you see?
The Union Jack.
Aye, lad, the Union Jack flying over the old stockade was made years and years ago by Flint. There's your friends, Jim.
More like the mutineers.
No! Silver would fly the Jolly Roger, you don't make no doubt of that. No. There's your friends, Jim. There's been throws, and I reckon your friend is at the best of it.
Then come quick.
Nay, lad, not Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn's fly. Run one for me there while you're going. Not run one till I see your born gentleman and gets it on his word of honor.
Then let me go.
You won't forget my words, Jim. Now, a precious sight. That's what you'll say. A precious sight more confident than Nixon, eh?
Yes, yes.
And when Ben Gunn's wanted, you know where to find him, Jim.
No, where?
Just where you found him today. And he's to come is to have a white thing in
We're not beat yet, and there's still a chance. For the last half hour I've looked at that ship, and only 2 have I seen aboard her.
Well,
As soon as it grows dark, 1 or 2 of us will creep down to the beach, row out, and cut her adrift.
But what about the rest of that crew of pilots? Not a sound have we heard from them for the last hour.
That's what I mean to find out. I need to know at once exactly where the enemy is and what he is planning. In short, I need volunteers to reconnoiter.
We'll go, sir.
wait! Before you offer, I want you to know the situation. It's life or death.
We're ready, sir.
Right. Keep to the left and under cover as much as possible. Try for the woods.
Right.
All clear, Joyce.
Clear, sir.
Up with it.
If you guys succeed, we'll owe you our lives, and I'll remember it.
Careful now. I tell you, if you can do this, you'll turn a trick on them.
It seems to me they're aiming at our flag. Wouldn't it be wiser to take it in?
Strike my colors? No, sir. Not I.
Well, you shall have to do it sooner or later. We're outnumbered 3 to 1, beaten in every way. I'm willing to give them that charge if they'll return young Hawkins and let us go.
And I, Captain Smollett, I'd rather see the whole treasure in Davy Jones' locker than any harm should come to Jim.
Oh!
What was that?
Hunter Grace, sir.
The gate, quick!
Hunter's wounded.
Well, they're on the woods there, on every side. I got one of them, I think.
In your places, lad. Is he badly hurt, Dr. Livesey?
Yes, very. Be I going, Doctor. Tom, my man, you're going home. I wish I had a lick at him first.
Tom,
Yes, sir.
Tom, say you forgive me for bringing you along.
Would that be respectful, sir?
I do, Tom.
All right. Howsoever it be, so be it. Great. Come, we'll help me carry him in.
And it's all my fault. All my fault for bringing him.
Now, there's no time for that now, sir. Those men up there are planning an attack. That's it, waiting to creep up on us in the dust.
Well, all the better for us.
If we win, yes. If not, we could be in a very dire situation. Well,
It's gone, sir.
Poor lad, poor lad.
Aye, what about the lad out there? With them?
we'll know that soon enough, or I miss my guess.
Ahoy!
Those blackguards out there will not catch us unprepared. We're ready for them when they come.
Ahoy!
What's that? Listen.
Longhorn ahoy! Longhorn ahoy!
Silver! As I live!
With a flag of truce.
What do you suppose?
Some trick. They know we've discovered their presence. Gray, stand by the rear. They're on guard. All the rest of you men, stand ready and watch. Wait for my word.
Ahoy, Longhorn ahoy!
Who goes? Stand or we fire.
Flag of truce!
What do you want with your flag of truce?
Captain Silver, come aboard to discuss terms.
It's a trick, I tell you. You come alone.
I am.
Find out about Hawkins. Agree to anything. Make any terms so you can get the boy.
Flag of truce. Your respects, the flag of truce.
If there's any treachery, Silver, it will be on your side, and the Lord help you.
That's enough, Captain Smollett. A word from you is enough. Squire, top of the morning. Dr. Livesey, here's me service.
If you have anything to say, you'd better say it.
Right you are, Captain Smollett. Well then, we're willing to submit. If we can come to terms, and no bones about it.
What you?
Wait! What terms?
It was a good, clever trick of yours, sending us on a wild goose chase with a false chart, getting us out of the way while you reached him. Only it won't work twice. I suspected you even then. That's why I took Hawkins. And now, here you are. And there's your ship, with the Jolly Roger flying at her masthead. And you lost most of your provisions coming here. And I know just about how much ammunition you got.
That's our affair.
And ours. We gotcha, I tell you. And you've got to do what I say. And we want that treasure. And we want it now. That's our point.
Point enough.
And you want your lives. That's your point. Now, he gives us the child. And Ivan, he comes along with us. And once the treasure is shipped, I give you the appy-dappy upon we would have honor. That will pack you somewhere safe ashore.
Of course, we can trust you to do that.
Well then, that ain't your fancy. Some of me hands me in front. You can stay here, and we'll divide stores with you. And I give you the appy-dappy as before. But the first ship we sight, we'll send them here to pick you up. Now you'll have to own that top. And I hope all hands overhaul me words, for what is spoke to one is spoke to all.
And is that all?
Every last word, my thunder. Refuse, and you've seen the last of me, but musket balls.
Now I tell you, and you'll come up one by one, I'll engage the clappy wall in irons.
Oh, really?
And take you home for trial.
You will.
You can't find that treasure without us. You can't sail that ship without us.
Look out, I warn you.
You need us more than we need you.
Oh, we do we? You wouldn't be standing there defying me if I still had that boy. If Hawkins hadn't gotten away, you'd be on your knees fast enough.
Hawkins safe? Thank God.
Now, bundle out of this, double quick. I'll put a bullet hole in your back next we meet.
Is that your final word?
It is.
All right. Me men are waiting for the word. You'll be hearing from me in the next 5 minutes. I'll stay in your blockhouse like a rumpet. Laugh, my thunder, laugh. Before a quarter of an hour's out, you'll be laughing on the other side. And them that die will be the lucky ones.
My lads, I've given him a broadside, pitched it in red hot on purpose, and before many minutes are out, as he said, we'll be boarded. We're outnumbered, 3 to 1, but we fight in shelter, and I believe we can trouble. My lads, we can stand anything except for what he threatened, a siege or being marooned. So let them come, lads, let them come. What was that?
Thought I saw something.
Did you hit him?
Don't know, sir.
Wait, easy.
There, trees to the right. Don't you see something moving?
Yes, now hold steady, don't fire. Wait, oh my God! It's Jim!
What?
On the gate, Doctor. Now, you see off to the left there, in the trees. The pirates are watching. Now, on my one, I want you to fire a shot up into the trees there. Ready?
Ready.
Jim, come, lad! Come on, lad! Come! Shoot, man! Shoot! Did they get him? Did they?
Thank God you're safe, lad.
They almost got me, sir.
Where have you been?
How did you escape?
I'll explain all that later. First, there's something you should know. I met a man on this island who says he's been here for 3 years. Ben Gunn says his name is. He seems to have something to propose.
A man on the island?
I think I see something moving, sir. Back to your places. Jim, get inside the house.
I
Get
want
out
to
of cover.
I want to help, sir.
I think I see them over here too, sir.
I'm here, sir.
And here?
Let us from all sides. They're getting ready for a charge.
They're starting!
Save your ammunition until they reach open.
Here they come.
Let them have it!
say it.
No.
You'll never tell that to Sue. Now, for the last time, say it. Say it or... Then there. You'll never tell that to Sue. What is it? My father, he got me. He got me. What is it? I've gone blind. I've gone blind. I can't see. I've gone blind.
Ahoy, shipmates, ahoy! Dead. Gone. All gone. I've got the ship. I've got to sail her. Who is it? Who is it? Answer, or I'll fire.
It's Israel Hans, lad.
Mr. Hans, much hurt.
I'm dying. Dying. I can't move.
I'll see that you don't. But at the first move I shoot.
And where might you have come from?
I've come to take possession of this ship. And so, Mr. Hans, you regard me as captain. I shall further notice.
Captain, eh?
Is it understood, Mr. Hans?
Aye, it's understood, but...
At first, we'll strike these colors. This will put an end to silver and all you pirates. There. God save the king. And there's an end to Mr. Silver, too.
Will you tell me how you might have come aboard?
I've been in the little boat all night. It was I who cut the ship adrift.
You. And I killed him, therefore I'm
I've been
going...
drifting all night. I'm going to beach the ship in the North Inlet, where we can get off the provisions, and where Silver will never find her.
All alone, eh?
Yes, alone.
Ever sail a boat, mate?
I'm going to sail this one with your help, Mr. Hans.
With my help, is it?
Just so, Mr. Hans.
Now I'll make a bargain with you, Hopkins.
Captain Hawkins.
Captain Hopkins. My head and my leg are bleeding. I'll die, I will, if you don't give me a hand. Give me a kerchief to tie my wound up and some food and drink. And then I'll tell you how to sail her. And that's about square.
You know where the North Inlet is.
To be sure.
We'll take her there.
Aye.
Mind it the first sign of any treachery from you.
I'm no such fool. Now, go home and get me some brandy.
No.
But you said,
First, the boat.
smart lad, take no chances. We'll have it your way. Take the hull on that mainsail there. Hold her tight. There. She'll sail under the mainsail alone. Now put your helm hard alee. It's a narrow channel, you'll have to feel your way.
She's safe so far.
You're doing fine, lad. Couldn't do better myself. And now, come here.
What do you want?
A little drop of brandy. I've earned it now.
You're sure she's safe?
She'll hold still.
All right, Mr. Hans.
All right, Hopkins.
I couldn't find any. Not a drop left.
Jim! I'm for my Longhorn, lad. This time I'm no mistake. Come here.
Not that! Take it out! Take it out or I'll fire!
Just reaching for my tobacco, lad. See? Will you cut me a chunk of that? I haven't any knife.
Drop it in. If I were in your place, I'd be thinking on prayers and not tobacco.
Why? Tell me that.
Why? Why, you've broken your trust. You've been living in sin and lies and blood. And you ask me why? For God's mercy, that's why, Mr. Hans. I can see the beach from here.
Oh, that mainsail a notch. All right, lad.
All right, sir.
speak up.
I'll not say a word till I know where my friends are.
You. Now this is what gets me to do, Lazarus. I'm going to know what you've been up to.
I'll not say a word until you tell me what's what, where my friends are, and what you've done with them.
What's what? Ah, he'd be a lucky one, is no doubt.
Who's coming here? Now, Jim, I want you to recognize a position. Here you are with us, who you'll admit ain't got cause to be too friendly. So the truth, lad, the truth.
Not until you tell me.
You won't, eh? We'll see. Back your coaches. Jim's right. It's only fair. Last night, down came Dr. Livesey with a flag of truce. Silver says he let's buy.
And a pretty bargain it was.
It's the bargain I made him. Him and me. Him and his friends to give up this place and us not to touch him. And why? Because they had ammunition we needed. Because they had this place we needed. Because they can't get away.
Why did they change then?
They thought they'd out and make for the ship. And I didn't think so. But I've got my only road to that ship. And I've got it hidden. I beat them, I have. Fooled them at every turn.
Oh, have you?
Aye, by gum, I have.
Well then look there, the ship's gone.
Shiver me timbers. My ring.
Tricked, faked, fooled.
Wait!
I'm not such a fool that I don't know what I have to look for. Well, let the worst come. It's little I care. But there's one thing I will say. You're in a bad way. Ships lost, treasures lost, men's lost. Your whole business gone to ruin. And do you want to know who did it? Why, I did. I was in the apple barrel. I heard you and Morgan and Hans and all of you, and told every word of it. And as for the Hispaniola, it was I who cut her heart up. It was I who killed those men you had aboard her. I killed them, I tell you, and I brought that ship where you'll never see her. Not one of you. I've had this law from the first, and I no longer fear you than I do a fly. Kill me if you please, or spare me. But one thing's for sure, bygones are bygones. And if you spare me, when you folks are in court for piracy, I'll save you all I can. Kill me and do yourselves no good. Or spare me and keep yourselves a witness to save you from the gallows.
So, you cut the boat adrift, eh? And you know where she is?
I'll not tell where.
That boy's not going to live.
Then by thunder, he
And
gets...
pass that, Tomlin Morgan. Perhaps you think you're coming here. Well, I'll teach you better. Have I lived these many years, the son of a rump-hunted cock, his hat athwart, and me hoss at the latter end of it? Well, I'm ready. Take up a countenance, him that dares, and I'll see the color of his insides. I'm come here by election, and because I'm the best man by a long sea mile. And if you won't fight, then you'll obey. Now I like that lad. He's more a man than any pair of rats of you here. And let me see if I'll lay a hand on him. Well, you seem to have something to say. Pipe up and let me hear it.
I ask your pardon, sir, but you seem to be pretty free with some of the rules. Maybe you'll kindly keep your eye on the rest.
Meaning by that?
This crew is dissatisfied.
Why?
This crew no belly pulling a Merlin spite. This crew's got right, and by your own rules, we can talk together. I ask your pardon, sir, acknowledging you as captain at this press, but I claim my right to step aside for a council.
Who's right?
According to the rules.
Awful counsel. Oh, I said.
Jim, you're within half a plank of death.
What are they going to do?
First, they're going to tip me the black spot.
Same as Billy Bones.
Aye. And I want to stick by you now, through thick and thin.
What?
I'll confess, I didn't mean to until you spoke up about that ship. I'm tough. But when I looked out into the quay and saw her gone, then I gave out. Ship gone, neck gone. That's about the size of it. Now, are you sure she's safe?
Yes. I'll not tell where.
And I'm not asking for that, but are you sure?
Yes. Sure.
That being the case, and why did the doctor give me this?
What?
Aye, look at it. Is it the right one this time or not?
I don't know what sort of torture you put them through, what horrible things they must have undergone to give that to you, but I want you to know you'll never get that treasure. Never!
Eh?
We've got that ship, Mr. Hands. We've got her hidden, and you'll never find her. Never!
A proper spirit, lad. But I'm thinking, I'm your last card here. And and I'll save you, be it I can, from them and there. But tit for tat. You do the same for Long John when the time comes.
I'll do what I can.
A bargain.
A bargain.
Now understand, I'm on the squire's side. And I know you've got that motive. And I'm not asking you why. But I know when the game's up, I do. And I know a lad that's staunch. He was young. We might have done a power of good together.
Here they come, sir.
Well, stand up, Duffy. And by thunder, I've still got a shot in my locker. Well, step up. I won't teach you. Which of you has it? You, Mary?
Aye, sir.
Well, hand it over. I know the rules. I won't have the deputation. Jim, what would you say that was?
The black spot.
Right, you is. Hello? What would you say that's cut from?
The Bible, sir. See, it reads, without or dogs and murderers.
Aye, and very fitting too. What fool cut the Bible? You, Mary?
Aye, sir.
Well, it ain't lucky. You'll swing for it.
Aye, sir. Oh, ain't it? This crew has tipped you the black spot in full council, as in duty bound. Just you turn it over and see what's wrote there.
Thank you, George. He always was brisk for business. Well, what is it? Deppposed. Deposed. And very pretty rope, I swear.
Come, you don't fool this crew no more. You're over now.
I thought you said you knew too.
Well,
According to the rules, I am still your captain until you out with your grievances, and I will gone.
all right then. First and last you made a hash of this cruise, and now for some reason you're holding back that boy from us. You bungled the whole thing.
Bungled, is it? Bungled, you say?
I bungled!
Ah, I don't. You can see how badly it's bungled. We're this close to the gibbet. Me neck is stiff with thinking of it. And do you know what stands between us to swing and sun dry? That boy! He may be our last chance. Ah, by the powers, you ain't got neither sense nor memory. I let the squire and his friends go all right. And do you want to know why? Well, that's why. I got what I wanted. I got the map. Now, look at it. Mull it over your rum puncheons. Is it the right one? Is it?
JF and a score below.
With a close hitch in it.
Flinch fist, shred and bones, mate. It's a map. We've got the map.
Long John! Long John Silver!
So, is that your true word?
Captain Silver! Captain Silver! Captain forever! Come, mates, picks and shovels!
Aye, treasure! Flint's treasure,
Wait!
Well,
When we do find this money, how are we to get it home? And us no shit.
By the powers, that's right!
Now tell us that, Long John. Tell us that.
How?
you ain't got the invention of a cockroach, you. You can't find a way to get that money home. No, it's silver. Well, there's your map, and there's the way to Flint's treasure. It's chest, picks, and shovels it is. And once we find it, then by thunder, if that lad doesn't lead us to that boat, I'll cut his heart out.
Silver! Read it up, barbecue.
Tall tree, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the north of north-northeast. Skeleton Island, east, southeast, and by east 10 feet.
This is Spyglass Shoulder.
And plenty of big drinks.
Enough for all of us and more.
He very well Flint did. In a wicked spot.
Listen,
What?
that's the third time.
Hey, the third time of what?
It sounds like someone cried.
It's a touch of the sun you've got, Dad.
I heard it. I heard it clear.
Tall tree, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the north of north-northeast. Well, lads, here we are. Scatter or look, try every tree. Keep an eye open for some signs. Come, lads.
I'm tired, sir.
Come. This is no time to be tired. We're getting closer to the treasure chest.
There. There it is again. Don't you hear it? Don't you? It isn't the sun. I did hear something.
Jim, you hear it?
No, sir.
And the left. I did hear something.
Oi!
bishop here, I reckon.
Aye. In what sort of way is that for bones to lie?
Hands pointing one way, feet the other.
Like a blessed tiger he is.
Tain't natural.
It ain't. And that's that.
Lads, I'm thinking that this might be one of Flint's jokes now. 6 went ashore when he buried the treasure, and none came back. I'm thinking if this fella might be one of them now. Short bones and hair's been yellow.
Allergize.
Aye, it might be Allardyce. You mind him, Mary?
Oh, and then I do. He owed me money, he did, and took my knife ashore with him.
Well, there's little enough about him now. Not a thing left. Not a copper to it, not a fancy box.
That's queer. Flint weren't a man to pick a seaman's pocket.
By thunder, that's right.
It don't look natural to me.
No, it don't. Not natural and not nice. Great guns, mates. If Flint were but alive now, this would be a hot spot for you and me. 6 they were, and 6 are we. And bones is what they are now.
That is again!
Avast there, Dick. Flint is dead.
Aye, I saw him with these here dead ones. Billy Bones took me in, and there he lay with penny pieces in his arms.
But if ever a spirit to walk, it would be Flint's.
Dear heart, right heart.
Raged in Holland for rum and sang 15 men.
It was main hot, and the windy was open, and I hear that old soul coming out his clear. And the death rattle on the man already.
Come, stone down talk. Flint's dead, and he won't walk.
These boys, he could say that.
And as for this fella here, I've taken a notion into me own son. Flint hauled him ashore and laid him down by a compass.
What for?
For a pointer. What? Public. Here's a compass. Take a bearing along the line of them bones. Lads, I'm thinking if this might be the silence we've been looking for. Well,
East, southeast, and by east.
and the chart reads east, southeast, and by east. It was one of Flint's jokes, and no mistake. There it is, lads. The way to Flint's treasure. Up with you. Come on, up with you.
Stop! Stop! You must hear now. You must!
Flint's voice.
Why? And his song.
I told you I had something. I told you.
You were an ugly double word, Flint. And that blue in the face.
Live! That's the word. That was how the road took it.
Come, this won't do. Stand by to go about.
No, no, Long John.
It's only someone's skylark. Someone that's flesh and blood.
It was Flint's way of singing.
Aye, and his tones all sweat to that.
It's flesh and blood. And I'll prove it to you. I'm going up there. And those of you who aren't white-livered rats will come after me.
Stop! Stop!
Avast there, Dick. Another word and I'll run you through.
Listen!
Listen to that.
Oi.
That fixes it. They were his last words.
No one on this island ever heard a dog but us here.
It's Flint, mates. I'll go with that. Be lay there.
I never flick-eared Flint alive, and I'll face him dead.
Be lay there, John. Don't you cross the spirit.
A spirit? Ha! Well, maybe. You're rum punching. If you would have listened, you would have noticed an echo.
Well,
No man has ever heard of a spirit with a shadow. So what's he doing with an echo to him, eh? And as for that voice, it may be like Flint's, but it's a great deal like another's.
Whose?
Ben Gunn.
by the powers it is.
Ben Gunn.
Aye, Ben Gunn, that's who it is.
Big Gun ain't alive anymore, Flint.
Show nobody minds Ben Gunn, dead or alive.
Let's turn back, Silver.
Aye, back it is.
No, by thunder, no! I came here to get that stuff, and I won't be beat by man or devil. There's 700,000 pounds up there, lads. And when did ever a gentleman of fortune show his stern that much? And for a boozy old seaman, and him dead. Well, here's our line for the Pole Star, and the Jolly Dollars. Come on with you. Come on, men, come on, men.
Up, lads, up.
with you, come on.
All together now.
Take it in, man, you nigger, I tell you.
Come on.
What is it?
It's here. Flint's treasure chest.
The living rubbish, that's right. Bring it down, lads. Come on, bring it down.
Bit lighter than I thought.
Ah, find it on top? No dig, I tell you, dig.